on their legal rights and how can we defend ourselves legally?
First of all, I want to say thank you, Pastor Jamal, for having me on this panel. Ladies and gentlemen, if we had a cooler pastor, he'd be frozen.
And check is in the mail, Jay.
But to answer your question, doing things like this, allowing esteemed panelists to give of themselves and their time to educate the community on the laws, how we are affected by the laws, how the process is working in Baltimore City and around the country. This right here is a great work. We have a lot of issues and challenges with our judicial system. I'm seeing more isms these days than I did 20 years ago when I first started practicing law. Whereas before, the judges would kind of tell you you were wrong because the law you cited was not the way they interpreted it. But they would listen to your arguments and they would address them and then disagree with them. Now they don't even listen to your arguments. Now they ignore your arguments, whether it's based upon precedent, statutes, whatever you have in front of you. So the legal system is getting rougher out here each day. And the way our young people are treated in Baltimore City, overcharging, rather misdemeanor offense, you overcharge them as felonies. Not because they believe they can prove this case in a court of law, but they know that once they've saddled you with that felony charge, you're not going to get a bail. And you're going to sit in jail for about 6 to 8 months until your case comes to trial. And then when it comes to trial, after being warehoused in the jail because you're being held with no bail, or you're being held on $1 million bail on something that amounts perhaps to a barroom brawl, or some other misdemeanor possession of some type of CDS. You've been held so long and warehoused so long that they wear you down. They break you down. And then when they give you a plea offer, whereas if you weren't sitting in jail, or if you were able to make bail, you would fight the case. But because you lost everything, because you sat in jail for so long, 6 to 8 months, how many of us go live paycheck to paycheck? Imagine being taken away from your family for 6 to 8 months. You can't even work to provide a job. And then they throw something at you, plead guilty to the first count, this felony. Yeah, it's a felony, but you'll go home today. You'll go home today. And then that person has to make a decision. And these are the decisions that African American men are faced with every day. Do I go home and be with my family and try to repair all that was broken as a result of a very minor offense or no offense at all? Or do I continue to fight and sit in jail longer because the case gets postponed about 3 to 4 times every time you appear in court? Every postponement lasts about 45 to 60 days. So if you have 3 or 4 of those, or a number of those, and you're just being warehoused, locked down 23 in 1, that is 1 hour of recreation, 23 hours in a cell, what are you going to do? These are the choices that we have to deal with. So for me to be able to take this stage and kind of educate the public on how the system is working and what we can do to make the system better, I'm honored, I feel privileged, and this is why I became a lawyer, so I can help somebody. And in this medium, I can help a lot of people. So thank you.
Before we go any further, we'd like to bring up our Madam Mayor, Ms. Stephanie Rawlings Blake. Give her a round of applause, everybody.
Stand to your feet, please. You gotta give her a big applause for that. She's got a million demands in her life. I'm thankful for this. Right to your hand turns, Ray. Y'all not doing better.